Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Every morning in ISKCON, every temple, we sing a song. And the second verse, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chite Te Koriya Aikya, Arna Koriho Mane Ash. The name of the song is Guru Vandana. And these two lines, is for me the essence of Krishna consciousness. We simply want to hear the message, the word of our spiritual master. Once you become a member, a follower, a devotee, a sympathizer of ISKCON, then automatically Srila Prabhupada is your spiritual master. At least your instructing spiritual master for everyone. So we want to hear his word. And then there is a mantra from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Why this is important. Yasya deve para bhaktir, yata deve tathagura, tasyaite kathita hi arta, prakashanti mahatmanaha. This verse says that if you have explicit faith in Krishna, if you come to that point, and that's not so easy to reach that stage, but if you've reached that stage where there is no more doubt, Krishna, you are my Lord. Krishna, you are God. You are my master. If you come to that stage without any doubting, and if you have equal faith that my spiritual master, in this case, Srila Prabhupada, is your representative, then whatever you read, whatever you hear, you will understand. So I've been concentrating this year on really scrutinizingly studying Prabhupada's purports. I spent a lot of time, just like Prabhupada once said, cramming like you do for an exam. Sometimes you have to just cram. So in one letter he said, cram my purports. So that's what I did this year. I went through the Gita, cramming those purports. Now I'm studying the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'm finding that my faith, my love, and my appreciation for Srila Prabhupada is exploding. So I encourage you also, as my blessings, to please read Prabhupada's purports, the Bhaktivedanta purports. So I've selected a verse today from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hopefully my goal here inspire, enthuse, and enliven. At the end, you can give me a grade if I was able to accomplish that. So, I think maybe my good friend Swabasa Dasa, I think this is one of your favorite verses. You confirm. Because I remember long time ago, you quoted this verse. Shushu sho, Shraddha, I'm right? Shushu sho Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Kata Ruchi Siyan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat. So this comes in the second chapter of the Bhagavatam. What's the scene? The scene is the forest of Naimisharanya, early in the age of Kali. Hundreds and hundreds of sadhus and rishis and brahmanas have assembled in this holy place, Naimisharanya, which is considered the hub of the universe. And they have selected their guru, Sutta Goswami. And they selected him because they wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Sutta Goswami was like you in attendance at the first recitation of the Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami answering the questions of Maharaj Parikshit so that he's ready to go back to Godhead. So because Sutta was there, these sages said, oh, we want to hear everything that you heard. So later in the next chapter, Sutta says, yes, I'm going to tell you everything I heard, but according to my level of understanding. So that's also significant, that I'm a conditioned soul, and my duty, if as soon as I sit on this seat, I have a responsibility. Prabhupada also writes about that in the first canto early, that if you're going to sit on this seat, you have to be able to represent Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is, you could say, the father of Hinduism. All the Vedic scriptures came because of Vyasadeva, especially the two most important books of all the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the two most important. So, Sutta Goswami is answering 6 questions that were posed by the sages of Naimisharanya, and he's going to answer them systematically. The most important question was the last question. They asked Sutta, now that Krishna has returned to his abode, all the good qualities, religion, everything went with him. Now in this age of Kali, where will the people go for shelter? Where will they find solace? And at the end of chapter 3, Sutta says, yes, they will find light through this Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the age of Kali, the age of darkness, quarrel. We see we're on the verge of another world war, World War 5 or 6, I don't know, I've lost count. Only 3? Oh, okay. Seems like there's been so many. So it's the age of quarrel. and hypocrisy. Where will the people go for shelter? Srimad Bhagavatam. And here we have Brigupati Das, my senior god brother. He gave such a energetic kirtan. Amazing. How old are you? 74. And look at him, he's jumping like a 16-year-old boy. Wasn't his kirtan nice and powerful? Yes. And this, you can't fake that. It's not theatrical. You know, no offense, you're not a great singer. You're not, no, but you have the thing that matters the most, enthusiasm and purity. It's evident when you hear the vibration. Utsahan and purity. So, people of the age of Kali, Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana. So, let's look at this verse. So, Sutta is saying, again, this verse, I want to say it again. Shushusho Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Kapa Ruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat. So what does this all mean? O you, O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all ranges of vice, a standard of great service is done. And as a result of such service, affinity in the messages of Vasudeva is made possible. So everybody say Vasudeva. Vasudeva. Vasudeva is how Srimad Bhagavatam begins. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everybody. So Vasudeva or Vasudev is Krishna. The same Krishna we worship on our altar. The same Krishna that is in your heart. Your Krishna, my Krishna, they're not competing. It's the same. So this name Vasudev has at least two understandings. The general understanding, the son of the man named Vasudev becomes Vasudev. But the other meaning of Vasudeva, one who is dwelling everywhere and at the same time conscious of his dwelling everywhere. Everyone again, Vasudeva. So, by serving devotees, the great pure devotees, what do you get out of it? Affinity, a liking, an attraction for hearing about Krishna. That's when you know you've made some advancement. You know you make some advancement when you want to read Bhagavad Gita, that you want to read Srimad Bhagavatam. You actually have a hankering, a great need in your heart. If that comes, very nice. Let's hear now, I've been speaking, how the words of the spiritual master. So I'd like to go over this purport slowly, carefully, in hopes that it will encourage you, inspire you. If I have your permission, please say, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And the boss is still here, so that means I'm still doing good. He didn't walk out. The conditioned life of a living being is set up by the revolting attitude against the Lord. Revolting. Strong word. So that is our position. That's why we're here. We revolted against the Lord. There are classes of men called by the name Devata, godly living being, and also Asura, the demoniac living beings, and they are against the authority of the Supreme Lord. In the 16th chapter of the Gita, a vivid description of Asura is given, in which the Asuras are said to be put into greater and greater state of ignorance, life after life, like the lower animals, in which there is no information of the absolute truth, personality of Godhead. These Asuras are gradually rectified into God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors in different countries and climate, according to the supreme will. So that was our Prabhupada. Prabhupada left India and came to the West to give us Gita and Bhagavatam, to give us this movement, to give us everything this movement provides. And now is time for the commercial. So one of the things Prabhupada gave, Ratha Yatra. For the first time in history, 1967, Ratha Yatra was performed outside of Jagannath Puri, which had been going on for thousands of years. In 67, San Francisco, Ratha Yatra. And then from there, in 76, I think was the first time here. Is that correct? Or 77? 77 was the first time here in Los Angeles. And now we have Ratha Yatra all over the world. And what is my prayer? I have a prayer. One, I hope I live to see Ratha Yatra in Saudi Arabia. Would you like that? That would be amazing. Yes. Yes. So, Ratha Yatra is also a special gift of Prabhupada. Because by Ratha Yatra, so many people are getting exposed to Krishna consciousness. Even if they see Jagannath on the cart, so much benefit just by seeing. If they pull the cart, so much mercy. If they take prasad, so much mercy is available. So Ratha Yatra, on one level, is about preaching, giving Krishna consciousness to others. As I've said many times, if I do yoga, that's very nice, but that's for my benefit. My yoga doesn't do anything for you. But Krishna consciousness yoga, bhakti yoga, is all about giving the benefit to others. Now, here is the sweetness. Like they say in business, sweeten the pot. Right? So, the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya is that if you go out and give Krishna consciousness, at the end of the day, your account doubles. I like that investment. Yes. Say you give a donation to the temple, say. $1 million, that's all. Say you give whatever. All right, now your bank account is less, but you know I'm getting spiritual credit. But materially, you're out that money. But in Krishna consciousness, if you give to others, not only do you not lose your account, but it doubles. So that's so my good senior godbrother Brigupati, you still go out every day, 5 days a week, and you're going out 5 days a week to give others Prabhupada's books, yes? Why have you done this for more than 50 years? Why? It's your way of meeting Krishna. How do you meet Krishna? So when you go out, you actually experience Krishna's reciprocation. And so that inspires you. And that's why you go out. Over 50 years? How are your feet hanging on? Wow, amazing. You are what we call an ISKCON veteran. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyaye bacha patitanang pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Now Ratha Yatra is on different levels. So that was one level. We're giving Krishna to others. We're being merciful. Where's my Italian friend? Karuna. There you are. He reminded me of this word. Karuna. Merciful. So that's display of mercy. Going and putting on Ratha Yatra. Or supporting it. Or serving. Or just by attending. Okay. The other level of Ratha Yatra is more internal, philosophical, personal. And what is that? Ratha Yatra means bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan. It has to do with a pastime. Krishna had been absent from Vrindavan for so many years. And meanwhile, after he left, he got married. I think he married only 16,108 wives, something only. So he got entangled. So many sons and grandsons. So there was an occasion of a solar eclipse. And so the residents of Dwaraka, that's where Krishna domiciled as a householder prince. And the residents of Vrindavan, who had not seen Krishna for years and years and years, they all converged at a place which would later be the Battle of Kurukshetra. So they went to Kurukshetra, and so everyone met up. And Krishna met his mother and father, Nanda and Yashoda. And Krishna met all the cowherder boys and also the gopis. And there was a private meeting between Krishna and the gopis. There was some discussion. And there was this idea that Krishna wanted to take the residents of Vrindavan back with him to Dwaraka. But Radharani and the gopis said, no. Not this Krishna. Because this Krishna was Yadu Kumar, a prince. That's not the Krishna Radha and the gopis are attracted to. They want Govinda, playing the flute, simple dress, cowherder boy, not some prince. So Radharani and the gopis, even if Krishna had demanded it, they would have said no. We want the Krishna who goes on the bank of the Yamuna. So the gopis and Radha would like to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. And that is the drama of Rath Yatra. The drama of Rath Yatra is the attempt to bring Jagannath, Lord Krishna, from, you could say, Dwaraka or Kurukshetra, take it either way, back to Vrindavan. So that is two aspects. I've said year after year after year after year, the best time to come to this temple is Rath Yatra time. This temple is alive and well, but when Rath Yatra comes, it's on fire. So much energy, so much potency, and the devotees working so hard to put on Rath Yatra. Swabhas can give you. It costs how much? 100,000? How much? I forgot, age of inflation. Now it's $200,000. A lot of that is legal, official fees, right? Permits, bureaucracy. Welcome to Kali Yuga. Yes. But if you can do any little service, anything, so much benefit is also for you. Plus, you are engaging in a preaching activity. So that's my commercial. Did I do okay, boss? All right. Got to keep the boss happy. Otherwise, you won't be invited back. Let's continue with Prabhupada's purport. Such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord, and when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known somewhere as the powerful incarnation of the Lord, the Son of the Lord, the servant of the Lord, the associate of the Lord. But none of them declare falsely that they are themselves God. Yes, and that actually happened in this movement. Back in 69, 70, some of Prabhupada's senior disciples started to preach, Prabhupada is God. And when Prabhupada heard about it, he became furious, because that was something, here it's first canto, that had been repeated many, many times. That yes, we worship the spiritual master as we would God, but the spiritual master is never himself God. No, he's the supreme personality, servitor Godhead, as he says here, the servant of God. So Prabhupada immediately rectified. That philosophy had to be immediately extricated, otherwise it would have become a cancer. Prabhupada showed us, when it comes to these philosophical points, we must not compromise. We're very liberal, and we're very conservative, yes. This movement is ultra-conservative and simultaneously ultra-liberal. Look, they accepted me. They can't get much more liberal than that. But conservative in its principles. This blasphemy is declared by the asuras, and the demoniac followers of such asuras also accept a pretender as God or his incarnation. In the revealed scriptures, there is definite information of these incarnations of God, and nobody can be accepted as God or incarnation of God without reference to the above mentioned revealed scriptures. These servants of God are to be respected as God by the devotees who actually want to go back to Godhead. And we do that, yes, every morning. First worship, Vande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam, Vande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam. First prayer, worshiping the spiritual master. And like I said at the outset, then later, after the deities are dressed and we see the deities in their new daily outfit, not once a week, not once a year, daily. And what's the first prayer? Sri Guru Charana Padma. Yes. So we worship Srila Prabhupada like God, but we don't think of him as God, and neither will he ever accept, no, servant of God. The standard quality of the servants of God is that they canvass people to become devotees of the Lord and never tolerate the blasphemy of being called as God. So that's what Prabhupada instructed his disciples. Go out and preach and make others. We would ask Prabhupada from time to time, how can we repay you for what you have done? And Prabhupada said, you also give out the mercy. You also make devotees. We emphasize the distribution of his books. I became a devotee because of Prabhupada's books. Yes, that's what convinced me. Of course, Mahaprasadam had a lot to do with it. But primarily, my involvement in this movement is all based on Prabhupada's books. And I was thinking about that recently. Because I read a book, my whole life has been redirected simply by my accepting that book. I was at that crossroads in my life, and I said, no, this life I'm giving to Krishna and Prabhupada. And now here I am, 75. That I made that decision at the age of 22, that I would give this life to Krishna and Prabhupada. No regrets, and I would do it 100 times again. Best decision I ever made in my life. Everything changed because of that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God himself, according to the authoritative indications of the revealed scriptures, and he played the part of a devotee. Anywhere, any person who knew him to be God himself addressed him as God. He used to block his ears with his hands, murmuring the name Lord Vishnu. He strongly protested against being called as God, although undoubtedly he was God himself. This behavior of the Lord is just to warn unscrupulous men who take false pleasure in the matter of being addressed as God. The servants of God come with the mission of life to propagate God consciousness in human society, and intelligent persons should cooperate with them in every respect. By serving the servant of God, one can please God more than directly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants of God who risk everything for the service of the Lord are very, very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita that nobody is dearer to him than those who risk everything for the preaching work of God's glory. And that, again, that was Prabhupada. At the age of, on the verge of his 70th birthday, he got on a steamship, underwent 2 heart attacks, arrived in Boston and then New York in September of 1965, simply on the order of his spiritual master to preach, as it says here, risk everything for the service of the Lord. This service of the Lord, what does the Lord want? Well, Prabhupada was referring to this Gita verse, Nachatasman manushyesu kashchin me priya kritama bhavita nachame tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi. At the end of the Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, anyone who preaches this message of Krishna consciousness, there's no servant more dear to me, Krishna says. So Prabhupada is the exponent of that. He simply came and underwent so many austerities and penances just to present Krishna's message. Krishna's message is that everyone should return to him. Everyone should come back to him. Everyone should know him. Or as he told me, I asked Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? He said, if you love Krishna. Yes. That is Krishna's desire. And his good servants, his representatives, they come with the same message. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. Let us all return home back to Krishna. Prabhupada also said like that, I do not want to go back to Godhead alone. I want to take as many with me. That is ISKCON. It's a boat that will cross over the ocean of material existence and take you back to Godhead. And all we have to do, just like sometimes when the battery runs out, what do? Plug it in. So we are all meant to plug into ISKCON. On whatever level, you can become like Brigupati, full-time, sold-out soldier in Prabhupada's ISKCON army. We salute you, Brigupati Das. You can become an outside householder and practice Krishna consciousness comfortably in your mansion. What we don't care. Whatever you live, no problem. Chant Hare Krishna. Read Prabhupada's books. Donate to the temple. Yes. Plug in. Rath Yatra is, we'll do another commercial. Rath Yatra is a splendid occasion to plug in. So much service opportunity. There's never, well, how should we say? There's no unemployment in ISKCON. There's no. Anyone and everyone is invited to serve. Shusho Shradhanasya. Fortunately, the management here is very congenial, very friendly, and will make any arrangement so that you can do some service. Any service you can do. So Vas can tell us, there's some list of different things people can do, right? And of course, at least, you can give, yes, there's that famous shloka Prabhupada quotes, that you can give your life, you can give your intelligence, you can give your wealth, you can give your words. That's what I do. I am a salesman for Krishna. But somehow or other, plug in. And when you plug in, just like again, even Swavas, I don't want to embarrass you, but Swavas said, your kirtan, you were fired up. You were. And I said, yeah, he's jacked up out of control. But that's what happens when you're plugged in. You see Lord Chaitanya, Haribo. Yes, his hands, he's ecstatic from plugging in. Yes, even Lord Chaitanya wants to plug in to Krishna consciousness. Now here is a nice statement. See, everything is here in Prabhupada's purports. You just have to have enough guts to read it. By serving the servants of the Lord, gradually one gets the quality of the servant. And this particular qualification of serving the servant of God makes one qualified with the urge for hearing the glorification of God. So yes, I said this in the beginning. You can test how nicely you have advanced when you have an urge and a desire. Let me read Gita, let me read, let me study and dive into these books. That's what I try to do every day. They say in some counseling circles that if there's some problem with the family, then you should have quality family time. You know what happens nowadays. Everybody's at the dinner table, but what they're doing? Looking at the phone instead of being present. So, we'll stop there. So, you know that you have, so quality time, yes. So also we need to spend quality time ourselves with Krishna. Yes, designate some time every day that this time I'm going to spend quality time with Krishna. I'm really going to concentrate on my chanting. Not be like this. Hare Krishna, Haribo, Hare Krishna, Hare. No. Quality time. Hare Krishna, Hare. Right. And quality time reading. Just hearing the sound vibration. The way I was taught. One of my mentors, I saw him. It was a Sunday. We had some leisure time. He was a sannyasi. And there he was. We were at a park. And we were having a Sunday feast in the park. So it was morning. Everybody had had breakfast and we had some time. And there he was at the park bench reading out loud Bhagavad Gita. I said, now that is very nice. Just reading. Because the sound vibration, these Bhaktivedanta purports, is purifying. This eagerness for hearing about God is the first qualification of a devotee, eligible for entering into the kingdom of God. Look at that. So, did I inspire you? Did I enliven you? Did I encourage you? And I didn't say anything about politics. Good. I have a tendency. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshamam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Ratha Yatra, all glories to New Dwarka. Hari Hari Bol.